Georgia against the University of North Florida. There really isn't much to say here. Like I said, like Keyshawn mentioned, we scored 32 runs in that last series and still could not get it done. I'm not really sure what to say about this baseball team other than the pitching staff has been terrible this season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The pitching has been unacceptable, Ryan.
Yeah, I like the starters. I just don't like they pulled the starters way too early, and then they let the bullpen go the rest of the game, and then home run after home run after home run. Run after run, hit after hit. It's the starting is good. I just don't like how we're pulling the starters so fast after they have a really good outing to save energy when we need to win some games, guys.
Yeah, I've never seen pitching this bad. Just like I've watched a lot of bad baseball. I'm a Marlins fan. I'm like no stranger to this, but I've never seen a bullpen this consistently bad. I don't know how you score 32 runs in a series, a 3-game series, and get swept. I'm speechless, man. I can't.
You said you've never seen baseball pitching this bad?
Nope.
Well, let's pivot over to softball.
Oh, boy.
Our women's softball team is currently sitting at 14-38 overall and 6-15 in conference play, only riding a 2-game losing streak, however, after their weekend series against the University of North Florida, where the girls won the first game 6-4, then lost the next 2 games 9-1 and 8-1. Which, as Schrader let me know a minute ago, officially puts us out of ASUN Conference Tournament contention. So, Schrader, since we can no longer make the ASUN Conference Tournament, what's your message to the team?
Show up and have fun. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. Right. Enjoy senior day. Maybe they get a good meal after, but good banquet. I don't know. Go out there, have fun. Maybe rake. End on a high note.
Yeah, it's nothing else at this point to really play for. You're just going out there having fun, swing the bat. You know, hopefully you leave senior day with the win. Maybe you do. I doubt it.
Have fun, swing the bat.
That's all you can do at that point. That's all you can do at that
Sounds
point.
like us at the intramural field last week.
Literally, it probably is going to feel like an intramural game.
That's a Richard Reed hype speech right
exactly.
Tell you.
So
that's what I told Joey when we were out there doing the intramural. You've seen Joey swing the bat.
Swing.
I said, Joey, I'm going to put you in the 9-hole. Get out there, be smart, and swing, and have a great time.
Hey, just go out there, have fun, and maybe you get a cupcake.
If we
after.
say go out there one more time, bro. Like, please show up. That's like step one.
Bare minimum.
Up.
Get out of bed, go to practice.
Well, that might be one of the issues. But looking ahead to the senior day that we keep talking about, it is this coming weekend with the first 2 games being in a doubleheader, Friday at 3 p.m. and then Friday at 5 p.m. Then the last game of the 3-game series being this Saturday at 12. Listen, I know we've made a few jokes here, but it's really all you can do at this point. It has been a bad season, just outright. We can't twist it any other way. 14-38 is, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can't say anything about that.
If we don't laugh about it, we're probably going to cry. So.
Exactly. I'd rather cry laughing than actually cry about how bad this team has been this season. It's just, it's wild. So looking forward to the last series of the season, it's really just like go out there and have fun for real. The season has not been what you wanted. We know. Hasn't been what any of us have wanted. But you can always go out on a high note by just going out here, enjoying the game that you've loved your entire life, leaving it all on the field as you work to try to get a home win in your last series against Queens.
Yeah, play loose, take care of business, and have fun.
Have a great time. Now, going over to the track and field, our track and field team will be back in action this weekend on the road in old Starksville, Mississippi, the home of the Cowbells, taking on in a track meet hosted by the Mississippi State Bulldogs and what is known as the Maroon and White Tune-Up. This is the second to last outdoor track meet of the season as we are coming off 2 straight first-place finishes, one in the UWG Legends Invitational and then in the Bulldog Invitational a couple weeks ago in Asheville, North Carolina. This SEC meet this upcoming weekend will be a great opportunity for our track and field team to get tuned up because a few weeks from now, it is the ASUN Conference Outdoor Championship, Schrader.
Yeah, basically it's in the name, the Maroon and White Tune-Up. You use a meet like this to get ready for conference because that's ideally where you will be able to, find some postseason success. But, yeah, it's going to be good to see what they do.
Absolutely. Just go out there, continue to do what we've been doing, setting records, winning consecutive meets and stuff like that, getting as many freshmen out there as possible, and kind of learning your team as much as you can to go into ASUN play and try to really, fine-tune everything up.
I agree. You said it, Schrader. It's a tune-up for I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm content. This track team is we're getting good things from them.
Mm-hmm.
The football team was good. The track team is good. I have high hopes.
I do as well. It's going to be very entertaining, very excited to see. Now, just to recap last weekend, our men's golf team was on the road in Valdosta, Georgia, old stomping grounds of West Georgia. Used to be our biggest rival down there at Valdosta State, in the ASUN Conference Golf Championships, where we finished in 11th place overall. Not the greatest showing, but it's been a very up and down. Well, we've had some high highs and some consistent lows. But,
what a spring it's been.
Ended off the golf season in the ASUN Conference Championships. Like I said, finished 11th place overall. But, the weather in spring sure is beautiful, isn't it, Schrader?
Yep.
And you know what? You can
fun.
look beautiful as well if you go to our merch store at wolfsportsnetwork.com. Click the About tab and click Merch Store. And you can buy some amazing
There's
Wolf
potential.
Sports Network merchandise. Hats, beanies, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, anything your heart desires available in our merch store powered by Osier Apparel. And if there's something that you want that's not in the merch store, follow us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network and shoot us a DM, and we might just add it to the store just for you. Now, stay tuned, because when we return, we're diving into the MLB and breaking down the NBA playoffs. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Join Sports Out of Pocket as they take their show on the road. Their hit social media series returns this spring with even more West Georgia athletes.
We are here with West Georgia Wolves O-lineman, Mr. Jack Hunt. Jack, how's your day going, man? My day's going fantastic, man. I'm blessed every single day.
And ending off with some karaoke.
You're hurting me, I met your girl, what a difference.
Look out for new episodes every Friday on Instagram and YouTube on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
What's up? This is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7, where the odds are in our favor. Crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune in to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey, you!
Who, me?
Yeah, you! Do you like talking about sports?
Yeah?
Well, do we have an opportunity for you? You can be a part of Wolf Sports Network today through our Wolves in Training program.
This semester-long course will teach you everything you need to know about college radio.
You can gain experience and be live on air by next semester. So join today by visiting wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports this spring. From University Stadium,
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
to the Coliseum,
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
and Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit thewolfuwg.com/book drive.
For those of you that have been watching Sports Pack steadily throughout the entire semester, we have amazing evidence that our book drive actually works.
Dude, we can read.
Because the way Ryan has progressed from January to this point is phenomenal. Exponential growth brought to you by UWG's Pre-K Book Drive. Donate a book today. Shout out my guy Ryan.
Appreciate it.
But I also want to give a special shout out to the Atlanta Braves. The only team in the MLB. Wait, no. Am I wrong?
Yep,
the only team in the MLB to have not lost a single series to this point. The Braves are currently sitting at 20-9 overall. Ryan, I want to start with you here, mainly because you just read the heck out of that book drive ad.
Oh,
congratulations.
thank you.
What have the Braves been doing right that has set them apart against all these other teams so far this season?
So this is the thing that surprises me the most. Half their pitching staff is still in the minor leagues rehabbing. Spencer Strider, they also got their catcher Sean Murphy down there who've been making rehab starts with, was it the Emperors or the Stripers, someone down there.
Yes.
But, thank you, Schrader.
Yep.
But that's what surprised me the most is that a pitching staff you work around, and with a good pitching staff, you have a really good team. And when half your pitching staff is on the IL, you need guys to step up, and that's exactly what these Atlanta Braves have done. They've stepped up time and time again. Their bats are hot. Their pitching's hot. They got a insane fan base behind them. If you've ever been to an Atlanta Braves game, they're a little toxic, but it works. But they're firing on all cylinders. They're doing a great job. They're making Atlanta happy.
Yeah. They just got a bunch of guys being dudes, right? You look at Alex Anthopoulos. He might not make
a bunch of guys being dudes.
Dude, he might not make like a big splash in free agency or at the trade deadline, but he's getting the right guys, right? Dominic Smith came out of nowhere. He's just one of the best hitters in baseball right now. I don't know what they're feeding Chris Sale to make an old man play like this, but it's working, and it's working well. So they're just doing the right things at the right time, I guess. I'm interested to see what the team's going to look like when everybody's healthy, how they're going to DFA, kind of what roster moves they're going to make. And hopefully they blow it up.
Yeah, don't forget about Kyle Farmer. They were bringing him off the bench quite a ton, and he's raking, bro.
Yeah, I mean everybody's doing their job. They're just playing complimentary baseball.
Absolutely. And coming off this win versus the Phillies, you kind of see that as the game go on. Chris Sales dominated in Game 3, had 6 shutout innings and 9 strikeouts. Matt Olson also dominated very well. Game 3 had a 3-run home run. So things just kind of been firing on all cylinders with these Braves team. Like Ryan said, they found a way to work around these injuries and still put all the right places or right people in the right places to kind of find their groove. And they're the only team this season with 20 wins. Right, they're top rank in the league, 20-9. Firing on all centers. They just got to keep doing what they've been doing throughout the whole season. We won't see a season like they had last year.
Yeah, they've been looking great. Well, go ahead, Schrader. You're about to jump in.
I wasn't saying that.
I was going to say something. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
You got to give credit where credit's due.
Wrong,
I'm a Cleveland fan. Got to say it.
Whoa.
I know, right? Crazy, right? But, you got to give credit where credit's due. Atlanta is seeing the ball like a beach ball, and they're hitting it like a tennis ball going out,
I know that's right.
That was one of the that was something right there.
You put it together. I saw it though. I visualized.
Yeah, you got to get the vision.
He can read.
Read that book drive out again. Don't actually. but yeah, the
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports.
Let me go ahead and flip it over. But yeah,
there's stuff on the back.
Okay. The Braves been playing great baseball though. That's what I'm trying to say. The Braves been playing great baseball. Like you said, like Ryan said, they've been hitting the leather off the ball. They've been doing great. Pitching staff has been doing incredible despite all the injuries. I'm very excited to see how the season continues to progress. Schrader kind of hinted at it once people start coming back around, see how everyone gels together. But as of right now, the Braves are probably the hottest team in baseball. They've been doing incredible, and if you want your chance to see this Braves team, they will be in action tomorrow night at 7:15 against the 15-14 Detroit Tigers. That's tomorrow at 7:15. You can catch our Atlanta Braves right here in Atlanta or on TV on MLB TV. I mean, you know where to find the Braves games. But looking ahead, Ryan, you mentioned something to me earlier. The 2026 rookie class in the MLB has been playing out of their minds. Please walk us through a little bit of what me and you talked about earlier.
Let me tell you something. I don't know where these guys come from. Most from Japan. Munetaka Murakami, he's hit like 11 home runs. I mean, you got Nolan McLean, who pitched for the World Baseball Classic for the United States. He's coming. He's with the New York Mets. He's doing an amazing job. You got Chase DeLauder for Cleveland. He's hitting the cover off the ball. RBI doubles, RBI triples. Hit three. I think it was 3-4 home runs in the first 3 games of the MLB season. So it just goes to show that there's a very bright future for this MLB rookie class. And somewhat, it's too early to say Hall of Fame, but some of these guys, that's why I said it was
too early. My God, it's rookie year.
Bro, generations.
These guys, if they keep it up, they're going to win some awards in the future, and it's looking good for this rookie class for sure.
Yeah, one guy that I do want to shout out is Munetaka Murakami because he came from Japan, just like you said, but he was supposed to get like a $100 million contract going into this season. He was one of the best power bats that the Japan League had or the Korean League had, and somebody said he couldn't hit the fastball, so nobody went after him except the White Sox. They got him for 2 years, $34 million, super cheap. And this dude's doing exactly what we thought he was going to do. And so, yeah, he's just proven a bunch of people wrong. This rookie class is amazing. You got DeLauder in Cleveland, and, yeah, everybody's balling.
He is – I think Murakami has hit 5 – I think it's either 5 or 6 home runs, a home run in the last 5 or 6 games. It's insane. 5 or 6 games straight.
Yeah, he's playing good ball.
Speaking of Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians are currently in action right now, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We are in the bottom of the first inning end of the first inning. First inning just ended as I started talking.
Ooh, good save.
The first inning just ended. The game is currently tied up at 0. Ryan, I just knew you'd appreciate that brief shout out to your.
That's a tie game at 0.
It's
Why do we need to address that?
I mean, he's a Cleveland fan. They're playing right now.
He should know.
Did you know?
I did know they were playing. I didn't know the score, though.
Yes, he needed that score update.
There we go,
0-0, it's all knotted up. I knew he'd appreciate somebody other than him mentioning Cleveland. That's all.
That's amazing. I love it.
If you didn't, he would.
He was going to find a way to.
I already did.
He already did. So I was going to tie back in, give him a little bit of. Forget it. I mentioned the game. The game is live right now. The game is live right now. I wanted to make mention to it. I also wanted to. It sounds like I'm kind of giving Ryan a lot of undue credit here.
Thank you.
But Ryan, at the beginning of the season, you mentioned the fact that you were really high on the LA Angels, and they've been playing pretty good ball, and Mike Trout has been playing out of his mind this year.
Mike Trout has, and he's got to stay healthy, but let's talk about right now. He's hitting absolute tanks. I think he is sitting at 9 home runs on the season. He's up there with the league leaders. He's doing an amazing job, hitting the fastball, but then adjusting to the breaking ball and hitting it out of there. He's working counts, working at-bats, making the pitcher throw him in locations in which they don't want to throw him. But when you foul off so many balls, you're going to get a fastball every now and then in the heart of the plate or a breaking ball up, and you're going to hit it out. And that is exactly what Mike Trout has been doing time and time again this season. And it's great to see because he's battled injury his whole career, and he's one of the best center fielders in our generation, almost all time.
He's one of the best players in our generation.
I was gonna get there. Yeah, his bat, he can hit nukes. He's in center field. He robs home runs, diving catches, everything, and he's showing that all on display now. And it's good to see because when I was thinking Hall of Fame for Mike Trout, it looks really good, but I can see that injury was creeping into there, that he hasn't been able to show exactly what he's been capable of these last couple seasons, because you can't show what you're capable of on the bench. But if he stays healthy this season, this might make his mark in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's really fun to see Michael Trout playing like vintage Michael Trout. He's
what do you
healthy.
think you are calling him Michael?
Michael Nelson Trout. Yeah, that's what I think I am. But yeah, just seeing him
because his last
play-
name's a fish, right? Marlins.
Okay.
Keep talking. Keep talking. I'm sorry for my outburst.
It's great to see him play like this, just that vintage Mike Trout that we know and love. I mean, but to go kind of back to that Hall of Fame, I think the Baseball Hall of Fame's a joke. I don't think it's ran well. I don't think the people that are inducted necessarily. It's a weird process. But I mean, he's got 413 career home runs, over 1,000 RBIs. He's batting a lifetime 293 in the bigs. I think he could make the Hall of Fame, and it would honestly probably boost his case that he was injured quite often while doing this. It's still a front-loaded career. I love Michael Nelson Trout, and can't wait to see what he does for the rest of the season.
Shout out my guy Michael Nelson. I mean, I'm with you 100%. I think Mike Trout is a Hall of Famer. He has been a polarizing figure
First
for
ballot.
my entire life watching baseball. The injuries have held him back at times. Like I said, Schrader, I think that's going to add to the argument for him to be into the Hall of Fame. But Mike Trout's ridiculous. I mean, and even the fact that we're talking about him right now, the way he's playing the game of baseball at an insanely high level, it's hard not to give Mike Trout his flowers and really just sit back and admire him while you can, because really don't know how much time is left. Schrader, thank you for joining us
Yes,
today
sir.
for the first half of Sports Back. We got our guy Orlando Oldham rotating in as we're about to dive into the NBA playoffs. Let's jump right into it. It has been a very entertaining. Well, yeah, go ahead and play the stager again. Why not? I want to hear it again. Welcome in, my brother Orlando Oldham. I mentioned the fact that he was just hopping on to ride out the rest of the show with us. We're going to go ahead and jump right in here. It has been a very entertaining first round of the NBA playoffs. And one of the best series so far has been between the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. They were in action a few nights ago where in Game 4 right here in Atlanta, the New York Knicks tied the series up 2-2 after a 114-98 win against our Atlanta Hawks. Orlando, I know you just got here, but I'm throwing it right to you. I know you've been watching these games. What do you think has been the keys to this game in these series, and which way do you think in this series, and which way do you think this one's going to go now that it's tied up at 2?
Oof, I mean, just looking at these last previous games, Knicks kind of pretty much handled Game 1. Had the lead in Game 2, but then we see C.J. McCollum and company, storm back and take Game 2. And then Game 3 was pretty much Hawks were pretty much leading the entire way. Knicks had a chance to kind of regain the lead, and then but the Hawks were able to maintain. And then Game 4 was just pretty much a blowout by the Knicks. So I mean, it's kind of looking for like that kind of consistency moving forward. It's like who's going to be that team that can just be consistent and step up throughout this entire series. I mean, Hawks are going to have a challenge. They got to go back on the road to New York. So I think New York may take a game right there, but I mean, I can't count these Hawks out. They've been doing good.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this Hawks team. I'll be honest, bro. I didn't expect them to take 2 games from New York. I knew one would be there, but I didn't think that they would take it at 2. I didn't think that we could see a potential Game 7 out of this series. But when you look at the last game for Game 4 for the Atlanta Hawks, things kind of were just bad offensively. They had 18 turnovers and went 10 for 41 from 3. Right. The Knicks, they controlled the pace the entire game. They took the lead early and never let the Hawks get a chance to grab it from them. So things just, consistency, offensive consistency. We need to see that from Jalen Johnson, C.J. McCollum, Dyson Daniels. These guys, they need to step up, right? This is time for them to be superstars. They're playing against. They know who they have. They got. They have Jalen Brunson. They have
Karl
Anthony Towns. There you go. They have Karl Anthony Towns. They have all of these guys. We need these Atlanta Hawks to be on their best behavior at all times, right? We cannot let them slip up. We can't let 18 turnovers go off on our offense, right? Because defensively, that's how they score offensive points off our offensive mistakes. So their defense turns to offense for them. So we just can't have that going forward.
Yeah, these Hawks are giving me almost a sense of they're playing very scrappy. I like to use that word a lot. But it's true. These Hawks, they know that they're the underdog and that they have nothing to lose. They beat these New York Knicks. Who knows what's going to happen? But, these Hawks, they're playing scrappy. They've had their 2 wins. They won by 1 point, which is just as hard as blowing someone out. So,
go ahead. I was waiting on you to keep talking.
Excuse me. Yeah, these Hawks, they have a sense of scrappiness to them for sure. They've won Game 2 and Game 3 both by 1 point, battling back, staying in tune with the New York Knicks, and they're playing very well.
Yeah, they have been playing very well. It's been a very entertaining series. I'd argue it's probably been the most entertaining series of the playoffs thus far. Every single game has been a barn burner up until this most recent game where the Knicks won 114-98 to tie the series up at 2. It's really because the Hawks had a very bad shooting night. A lot of turnovers, 19 turnovers. Really didn't have much going for them. The Hawks' 2 starting guards in the first half had 0 assists and 8 turnovers between the 2 of them in the first half. It was just a very ugly game. Shot 24% from 3-point range. Jalen Johnson did not have a good night. C.J. McCollum did not have a great night. Had 17 points. Dyson Daniels only had 6. I mean, it just was not enough. The Hawks need a lot more offensive output than this to rock out with this very talented Knicks team. Now, Jalen Brunson didn't have the biggest game. He had 19 points, but Karl Anthony Towns had 20. OG Anunoby had 20. I mean, the Knicks put a solid game together and were able to steal a game from the Hawks. Now the series is knotted up. It's all about how the Hawks respond going back out here to Madison Square Garden. Because coming into the series, everybody thought that the Knicks were the better team. And up until Game 4, the Hawks looked like the better team or that they were just about even. Game 4 was the first game where the Knicks straight up looked like the better basketball team. So now it's all about how the Atlanta Hawks choose to respond. I expect a very good game tomorrow night in Game 5, and hopefully a game that stretches the series out even more to 6 or 7 games so we can continue to see this Hawks team, continue to compete. They're sitting here making 6-7 jokes. It's throwing me off. But, yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of this series develops, and I'm really proud of this Hawks team already because it's a team that's very talented, but it's really missing a star point guard. That's really all this Hawks team needs right now. So I'll be extremely happy if they bounce back and are somehow able to win this series against the Knicks. But in Game 4, the Knicks outright looked like the better team. Now I want to pivot to a series in the Western Conference where another team is straight up like the better team as well. And that is the series between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are currently up 3-1 against Denver, which is shocking to many, myself included, because we all expected this series to go 6 or 7 games as well, maybe with the Nuggets winning it. But the Timberwolves are up 3-1, but still are very concerned because 2 massive injuries took place in the last game. Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles, just 1 minute into the game, and star shooting guard Anthony Edwards hyperextended his knee and bruised his bone after a very awkward landing in Game 4, and he is officially listed as week to week, which actually slates him to miss the rest of this series. Now, despite those injuries, the Timberwolves still held on to win that game after a 43-point explosion from Ayo Dosunmu, who shot 13 of 17 from the field coming off the bench. But looking forward to the rest of this series, Orlando, I want to start with you again. Do you think the Timberwolves can hold on and take one more game despite two of their star players being out?
Look, I mean, I don't know. This is tough. I mean, no Ant-Man, no DiVincenzo. You lose some of that bench. But, I mean, the Timberwolves have looked good all around. I mean, more specifically their defense. I mean, I've seen, we talked a lot about, no one can guard Jokic. Jokic is this, that, and the third. Jokic has been locked up this series. He has been locked up. He is not shooting the best at all. I mean, yeah, he'll end up with the triple-double, but it's not the Jokic we're used to seeing and that we've been talking about all year long. So defense has really been key. However, though, I mean, Denver, they get to go back home. They can take a game there, and they have to take one more game on the road, and the next thing you know is back at Game 7 back at your place. So, I mean, it is very possible for Denver to try and come back and win this series. I think Minnesota, the way they've been playing, the help they're getting, the defense, I think they could take one more game.
I like it for Minnesota. I think the team aspect is there. They're playing all around. Of course, the 2 huge injuries is going to affect them, but it's one more game. You just have to take one more game. You got 3 more left. Just take one. Use that bench. Use all the players that you've been using to especially when they went down. You said 43-point explosion. So use those guys. Keep them on the court. If they get gassed, put in your best guy on the bench, and it's just one more game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 3 games left in the series. I don't think Denver comes out 3-0. I don't think they pull off the comeback right. Like you said, Dante DiVincenzo, he played in all 82 games this season. So, that coming into the playoffs off that, and then I believe Game 4, you tear your ACL. That should kind of be a wake-up call to the NBA, kind of letting these guys know, hey, you cannot play all 82 because in the playoffs, that really takes a toll on your body. Now, missing Ant, you're gonna be antless for the remainder of the series, right? So, Ayo Dosunmu, he's gonna have to step up same way he did in Game 4. We're gonna have to need more 40-point exposure. It's just one more game. If they could get that off one more time in the next 3 games, I think they got a chance. But like I said, I don't think Denver could take all 3.
Yeah, the Timberwolves have played great team defense throughout this series. Dropped the first game where the Nuggets looked like the Nuggets. Jokic and Jamal Murray looked like themselves. Looked like it was going to be another vintage Nuggets playoff run. But since then, they have just been bottled up entirely. No Dante DiVincenzo, no Anthony Edwards. I understand that. But I still think the Timberwolves find a way to do it because of the 3-1 cushion that they have. It's not impossible, but it is very difficult to come back from a 3-1 deficit. Ayo Dosunmu maybe not dropping 43 points that efficiently again, but he's going to have to continue to be a primary scorer. We're going to need to see Nas Reed step back up into Sixth Man of the Year Nas Reed that we saw a couple years ago. He's going to have to step up as well offensively. He dropped 17 points. Going to need more so 22 to 25 points from Nas Reed. Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, those guys are going to have to step up as well. They are starters on this team. They are also going to have to shoulder a lot of the offensive burden to make up for DiVincenzo and especially Anthony Edwards not being on the court. It's possible. We've seen all those guys I've just named play at a very high level in the NBA. They're just going to have to do it at least for one more game to close out this series against the Denver Nuggets. I want to talk about another team that's up three games to one right now. The LA Lakers, probably the most shocking 3-1 lead that we have in these playoffs right now. They just dropped a game last night to the Houston Rockets 115-96, but that's besides the point. That was pretty much a courtesy game. We all kind of agree it's going to be a gentleman's sweep for the Lakers here. Orlando, I just can't believe this is happening because this is a Lakers team that was surging late in the season. Then they lose Luka Doncic, they lose Austin Reeves, and a lot of us kind of sell our stock on the Lakers because we're thinking, yeah, LeBron's still great, but he doesn't have it in him to overcome a Rockets team like this. They're not going to be able to push through in the playoffs without Luka and without Austin Reeves, but they have proved all of us wrong to this point.
Yeah, 100%. And I know some people may be like, oh, KD's not playing. He hasn't really played much of the series. But even when KD did play,
he was a non-factor.
Right. First half, he did good. I think I had 20. Finished the game with 23 points. I mean, this Lakers defense is incredible, led by Marcus Smart. He is out there just flying. And then Braun he's kicked it into another gear. Luke Kennard's looking like me out there.
Okay.
All right. No, bro, though. I mean, it's a team. It's really a team effort, though, from Lakers, which is what they need. Is, Austin Reeves looks like he's about to come back too, ready to play Game 5. That's what sources are kind of saying. He's probably going to play in Game 5. Luka's, just a couple, probably another week or two away. So, I mean, this is a really good sign for the Lakers that they could just keep this momentum up.
Absolutely. I mean, coming into the series, we thought that this would be we thought the Houston Rockets would put up a better fight than this because we thought we were going to get a better version of Kevin Durant, which we're not getting. We also expected him to be healthy. He has not. He hasn't been that way. So I mean, it's kind of difficult to kind of view this series because not everyone is healthy, right? But Lakers up 3-1. I think that they come out the series with a dub, and if they do, they could potentially get A. Reeves and Luka Doncic back for the playoff series going into next series. So I think if they handle this next one, like I said, same thing I said with the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're one game away. I don't see with the inconsistency that we've seen from Kevin Durant and nobody else really on that Rockets roster to really step up. No Amen Thompson, no Sengun to really spark a drive for them. I don't see that they pull off the 3-1 comeback.
Let me just say this. I think real quick, Ryan.
You're good.
I think the Lakers are going to win this series. Excuse me, I had to burp. I would prefer they go ahead and do it in this next game, gentlemen sweep, so they get more rest in between these games because they have a great chance of squaring off against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Great chance they will.
I'm saying, exactly. You're right. They will face off against the Oklahoma City Thunder if they win this series. So imagine the way this Lakers team has already been playing. LeBron has taken his game up to the next level for the playoffs. Their defense has been out of this mind. Then they find a way to get Luka and maybe Austin Reeves back in time for that series. We could have an incredible second-round series up next if the Lakers can finish this out against the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, and I think the series comes down to it's just two really banged-up teams. Kevin Durant out on the Rockets. You got Luka Doncic and Reeves out on the Lakers. You got two people that are leaning very heavy on their benches, just clashing it out. And that's sometimes the most fun because you get to see people that you haven't really seen all year really show up in the playoffs, which is what I've really liked about this series. You're seeing LeBron James' son, Bronny, coming in and throwing layups up, the alley-oops to his dad. It's really fun. And once again, I said it about Minnesota. It's just one more game that the Lakers have to win. And then they're playing the juggernaut. They're playing Oklahoma City Thunder. I would like to see what they can do there. Of course, Oklahoma City Thunder, insane team. But if they can do what they're doing against the Rockets, they might have a chance.
That has the chance to be an incredible series if Luka and Austin Reeves are able to return. That is making up to be must-see TV. Now, before we end up this segment, I have to ask Ryan, what is going on in Cleveland? The Cavs just dropped a game last night, 93-89. Yes, that's an NBA score. In Game 4 of their series against the Rockets. And the series is tied at 2, Ryan. What do you expect is going to happen moving forward?
I was really confident about Game 1 and Game 2. And then Game 3 and Game 4 came around, and we just forgot how to shoot. And that is just a Cleveland thing through and through. Donovan Mitchell not looking like himself. James Harden looked good in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 have just not been what he needs to do. And I believe he just went 7th all-time scoring in the playoffs, I believe, just past somebody, but he just hasn't quite looked like the James Harden. I get he's older. I get it. But you got to play to a standard when you're as well known as James Harden. There's a standard that you have to reach, especially there's a standard in Cleveland. As a Cleveland fan, we expect you to win, and that's every fan base. But, these Game 3 and Game 4, not what you want to see, especially in Game 4, not even cracking the 90s. That's not even something you want to do. So going towards Game 5 and Game 6, Cleveland does have the advantage if it does go to Game 7 to be in Cleveland, and that is what, of course, any team wants. But Cleveland is a very hard place to play, so it gets very loud there. I've been to a couple games there, but I'm excited. I think Cleveland does take this one. I don't think they're going to have to go to a Game 7, but it's a very risky thought because we just have not looked like ourselves.
Some well-timed optimism from a very concerned Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Now, stay tuned because when we return, we're going to dive into the NFL draft, break down what I deem is a phenomenal draft class from the Atlanta Falcons, and then talk about what teams put together the best draft classes and had the biggest steals of the draft. Stay tuned in. This is Sports Back on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey, do you like what you're listening to? Well, why don't you support our station by checking out our merch store?
Hoodies, shirts, and hats can be purchased on our website powered by Osier Apparel.
You can also DM us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network if you would like to recommend any more options.
Go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About to view our merch store. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
When you think about college sports, what do you think of?
Campus legends like Haynes King and Diego Pavia.
What if I told you there was a show for that and more?
More?
Playbook is your one-stop listen for college football, basketball, baseball, and UWG sports.
The Bulldogs have Ryan Nemhard, a great point guard, and they are going yard. Gonzaga in 5.
Tune into the Playbook Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. only on Wolf Sports Network. It's a new semester here at West Georgia, and that means a brand new season of Sports Out of Pocket.
I love Jameis Winston to death, but look at the guy. Like, come on, that's not the veteran quarterback that I want to be. He's a locker room guy.
They got Jonathan Taylor back there. It's like having Saquon, just a little bit worse, but it's like having Saquon.
Tune in to Season 7 of Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Join Sports Out of Pocket as they take their show on the road. Their hit social media series returns this spring with even more West Georgia athletes.
We are here with West Georgia Wolves O-lineman, Mr. Jack Hunt. Jack, how's your day going, man? My day's going fantastic, man. I'm blessed every single day.
And ending off with some karaoke.
You're hurting me. I met your girl on a different.
Look out for new episodes every Friday on Instagram and YouTube on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
If you missed out on our 2026 NFL Draft Show this past Thursday, you missed out on a lot. First of all, great broadcasting by everyone at this table and everyone at Wolf Sports Network as a whole. I tip my cap and give a short round of applause to everyone that was a part of it. It was a great show. It was also a great NFL draft, as a lot of teams built for the future, stacking the deck. The first team I want to mention is the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of us are kind of nervous going into this year's draft class because the Falcons only own 6 draft picks overall, none of which were a first-round pick. But they still found a way to put together a draft class that I am extremely impressed with. Their first pick of the draft being the 48th overall pick in the second round, taking cornerback Avion Terrell, brother of A.J. Terrell, from Clemson, drafting him. Nice shutdown corner from the Clemson Tigers. I thought that was a great value pick for the Falcons in the second round. Then going out and getting another familiar face, Zachariah Branch at 79 overall in the third round wide receiver from Georgia, led the SEC in receptions and had 811 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns, to go along with it. I was very impressed with that pick. How do you guys feel the Falcons did overall?
Honestly, despite them not having a first-round pick, I think they had one of the best one of the best drafts out of any NFL team, right? Despite not having a first-round pick, you still got very valuable pieces, and you didn't have to trade at all, right? You picked up Avion Terrell in the second round. That's wonderful. We needed cornerback help outside of AJ. Atlanta's never really had that true CB2 that we could rely on ever since we drafted AJ. I think that we have that now. Avion, he is a little bit undersized, not the same size as his big brother, so we might see him a little bit at the slot, but the film is there. We've seen it at Clemson. Obviously can play on the outside. Real scrappy dude. He has that infamous peanut punch that he likes to use. Had 5 forced fumbles last season at Clemson, so I'm very high on this pick. And then we got to steal Zach Branch in the third round. Did not expect him to make it there, but he fell right in our laps. We needed another weapon outside of Drake London, somebody not on the same skill set as Drake London. Drake London's more of our deep threat, down the field, jump ball, 50-50 guy. Zach Branch, on the other hand, he can stretch the field with his speed. Give him the ball in open space, let him do his thing. He's probably going to be our slot guy. So I really loved his drive. And then another one, Harold Perkins in the 6th round. Had a phenomenal freshman year at LSU. Looked very, very promising. Then he tore his ACL or Achilles in his sophomore year. Then the hype kind of slowed down a little bit, right? So, but the production, although the hype slowed down, the production was still kind of there. He fell in the 6th round. We was able to get him. So all in all, I love this Falcons pick.
I do like the Atlanta draft. I like they got Terrell at the cornerback. Said that a little fast. You said it, Keyshawn, cornerback 2. The Falcons haven't really had that, and that's a key piece that these Falcons need. I remember watching the Falcons last year. They're either really good or they weren't too good. It just depended on those backups. When those starters got tired, they put the backups in, and not too great things would happen. But you got the guy on defense, and then you got your speedy wide receiver and Branch from Georgia, and he's able once again to stretch the field while London gets the great route running. So it's looking good for the Atlanta Falcons. I was about to say Atlanta Hawks because of the NBA, but it's looking good for the Atlanta Falcons. I do like this draft class. They got what they needed. They took what was given to them. Even though they didn't have a first-round pick, they made best with what they had.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, they didn't have a single first-round pick, so that kind of makes it a little bit more tougher for you. But I mean, the Falcons nailed it. I mean, they got what they needed. They needed some help at corner. They got Avion Terrell. They need some help at receiver, Zachariah Branch, who I'm really a fan of, especially for the Falcons, because they need, like you said, Richard, just need a speedster, someone who can get open quick and fast. So I mean, that's good for the Falcons. I think it'll be really exciting.
Yeah, the Falcons' 2 primary pass catchers right now are Drake London and Kyle Pitts. We know what Drake London's been doing. He's been great when healthy for Atlanta. And Kyle Pitts really came around later in the season and kind of showed us what he could be and why he was drafted so high.
He was a dog.
Exactly, but we needed somebody to kind of mix it up a little bit. A really good slot guy, a guy that can catch a short ball like we saw him do a lot of times in Georgia and take that ball 60, 70 yards. I need to stop making 6-7 jokes here. Y'all are going to kill me one of these days. But really great run after catch, great speed, very shifty, human joystick. Put him at punt return. He can make great things happen with that. Saw it at Georgia and really saw it in his time at USC. Put him in the slot and let him run wild. What I really want to see from him, though, I want to see him expand his route tree. It's not his fault that it wasn't expanded because we saw what he was able to do at USC, but the Georgia playbook behind Mike Bobo really limited what Zach Branch could have been as a receiver. Now, he had a great season, led the SEC in catches, had over 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, had a really good season. But it could have been so much better if his average catch wasn't 2 yards due to all the screen passes that were thrown at Georgia. So I'm really excited to see him in this new offense that's being brought to Atlanta, be able to expand his route tree, still probably catch some screens every now and again because he's great at that, but also run some slants, run some deep posts, run some go routes, really do what we know he can do because he is a very explosive player, and I'm excited to see what he is able to bring to this Atlanta Falcons offense that is looking for another spark. Now, we mentioned the fact that the Falcons did not have a first-round pick this year. That is because that first-round pick belonged to the L.A. Rams at 13 overall, and they decided to use that first-round pick to draft the Matthew Stafford's future successor, Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama. Now, we talked about Ty Simpson a lot in this draft process. Personally, I believe the highest Ty Simpson should have been drafted was 21st overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Rams decided to go ahead and jump ahead of that and draft him at 13. Now, Keyshawn, this is a Rams team that was probably a muff punt away from making the Super Bowl and most likely winning the Super Bowl because a lot of folks, myself included, believe they were the best team in the NFL last season. So instead of going out and adding another weapon like a Malachi Lemon to this already explosive offense, or maybe another defensive player or a good corner or anything of that nature, they decided to go out and draft a quarterback. Do you feel this was the right move at this time for the LA Rams?
Honestly, I don't think it was, due to the fact that, like you said, they were one play away from a Super Bowl team, right? I think, Matthew Stafford, you look at his age, he's 39. Yes, I get that. But, their Super Bowl window is right now. They're a team that is ready to win right now. So I think that, they should have went out and got a guy who can be a contributor right away, a Mekhi Lemon, right then and there, right? Now you have a savvy slot receiver on top of a Puka Nacua and a Devontae Adams, or you could have went on the defensive side. Now the defensive need that they needed the most was the cornerback position. They filled that with the Trent McDuffie trade. Okay, cool. I still could have think they could have went with an offensive weapon, but at the same time, I do understand the Ty Simpson move. Matthew Stafford's 39. This is most likely his last season, right? So you look at Ty Simpson. He only has 15 starts. We don't really know what he has yet. They're kind of banking on the upside and the ceiling and the potential that they think they can develop. Which I'm not mad at it, right? Matthew Stafford, future Hall of Famer, a great quarterback to sit and learn under. But I think that with the window being as small as it is now, I think that they should have went out and got a guy who could contribute offensively other than Ty Simpson. But I do understand the move, though.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like this because if you look at the quarterback room for the LA Rams, they've got Stetson Bennett from Georgia, who they just drafted. Was it last year?
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago. They got Stetson Bennett. They also got Jimmy Garoppolo. He is old. So I just don't think they needed a quarterback. And if they were going to draft a quarterback, draft it later, not with your first-round pick that you got from the Falcons. This just was not a smart decision. You said it. They should have gone somewhere else, someone who can make a factor right away for these Rams. Because, once again, I'm going to say it again. You said it. They were one muffed punt away from making it to the Super Bowl, in which I thought they for sure could have won that Super Bowl if it wasn't for that muffed punt. They needed someone that could have done something right away and not just a learning guy in the first round.
Well, the two names that you said at quarterback, there aren't long-term solutions. So you could kind of they're solely just backwards, right? They drafted Ty Simpson to be a starter. They didn't draft him to sit like a Jimmy G or a Stetson Bennett. Also, I think that they chose to go with this move because they probably don't view themselves as picking this high next year, right? Next year, you're going to need a quarterback. You're not going to be picking number 13 if we're getting the same LA Rams that we saw last season. You're picking more back end of the draft. We don't really see too many good QBs go in the back end of the draft. Most of them fall early because so many teams need them. So I think that they went and drafted Ty Simpson solely for the future. They were thinking on the future. They were thinking this is probably the closest we're going to get to drafting a very solid quarterback at the top of the round. So we might as well make it happen now. So like I said, I understand the move. I may not agree with it, but I do understand it.
Yeah, I just think it's a little premature though because next year you're gonna have a very loaded QB class.
Yes, you are.
I mean, just getting Ty Simpson now with the 13th pick, I think it's kind of a reach in a way.
It's a little greedy.
Yeah, it's a little greedy, especially when you can just wait till next year. But I mean, like you said, that pick they're not going
to pick that high next year.
But I think it's a loaded QB class where someone good might fall to them. But I think it was just more premature in the terms of just getting Ty Simpson or just getting him at that 13 slot. If you were going to wait, could have just got him in the later rounds. But getting him at 13 when you could have picked up. Because we were watching draft show, I'm thinking, they're going to get Ruben Bain, from Miami, who would have just completely just iced out that D-line with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. But no, they decided to go Ty Simpson. I mean, it is what it is.
It must have been their plan from the beginning when they traded with the Falcons that they were going to get a quarterback, and that's probably the reason they took Ty Simpson because he, at the time, was the best on the board. So, once again, that had to have been their plan when they got that from the Falcons.
Yeah, and I can really understand both sides here. Obviously I understand going out and building up this roster even more. Matthew Stafford is coming off an MVP season. He was phenomenal. 1 or 2 plays away from representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I would have drafted Mekhi Lemon, honestly, because Devontae Adams is aging. Puka Nacua is going to be there for the foreseeable future. Go ahead and get him another running mate that can really learn under under Devontae Adams and Puka. But I also see the other end. Matthew Stafford contemplated retirement after this season. 9 times out of 10, no matter the outcome of next season, he is going to retire. So I also get why they'd want his successor already in place to take time and learn underneath him throughout this season, instead of going out and drafting a rookie, having that rookie have to jump right in and start immediately. So I can get both sides of it. I understand why they did this, but I can also understand a world where they went the other direction and drafted a guy like Mekhi Lemon to strengthen up this offense. It's a very complex situation. The longer I've thinking about it, the longer I've thought about it, I can understand why. I mean, if you have a high grade on a guy like Ty Simpson, he's the kind of processor that you want in the Sean McVay offense. Yeah, go ahead and give him a head start. That way next year you can use that draft pick on another rookie receiver and see if he can kind of take off. So I see the logic behind it. I can't say I would have done the exact same thing, but I do understand the rationale. Now, sadly, that's all the time we got for Sports Pack tonight. Very big episode for me. This is my second to last Sports Pack episode, so just saying that right at that second kind of made me feel some type of way.
Not yet.
So not yet. Exactly. So be sure to tune in this Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, for our final Sports Pack of this season. And shoot, my final Sports Pack overall. It's going to be a great final show. Look forward to having you all here to listen. But until then, I'm Richard Reed signing off for Wolf Sports Network. This has been Sports.